What's up, guys? KennyRoy here again. Another reel review. I'm liking doing this. This is fun. I think I'm gonna keep on. I think I'm gonna keep on doing it. Got a couple more people sent reels in, so I'm gonna do them. If you'd like your reel reviewed or a shot, actually, you know what? It can just be one shot. If you want me to take a look at a shot, give you some notes, give you some feedback. I'm enjoying this. I think this is great. And if you guys are keen, then go ahead, send me a DM on Twitter. You can @ me with a link to your shot of your demo reel, or just tag me in your post, and I'll come through and give some notes. So again, just find me in some. I try to make myself pretty easy to find online. So just use any of the myriad ways that I've provided, and we'll get together. We'll hook up. Today is Luiz Couri. Not sure if I'm saying that right. Sorry if I have butchered your name, Luiz. Some good stuff here. So I'm going to start. I'm just going to say right off the bat that this probably is too short for a reel that would be that I would expect you would be using to apply to some larger studios. Now it says MPC on it, so what do I know, right? But it just gives me the impression that if this is the link that you have to put together, you probably need to do a little bit more personal work to pump this up a little bit. We also are a little bit past, I feel, maybe I'm wrong, but I have just seen too many reels that have been rendered well to say that we're still able to just send in straight up play blasts. That's just how I feel. I'm sorry. If you have a pal that can render it up nice for you, then maybe they can put that your shot on their reel. If you have someone who wants to do like TD or lighting or compositing, whatever, some of the later stages of animation and VFX, then give your shots to them. Maybe they'll render it up for you. And I'm reacting to this shot. I just think that it's, especially on a reel that is under, let's see, 5 seconds to 45 seconds. So it's like it's under 45 seconds long. I just think that you need to just beef it up a little bit. So anyway, I'm going to start, and we'll go through one at a time. And so here's the thing. Here's the good news. There's always good news. I'm good at finding good news. There is enough here that I can tell what you're good at, and so I'm going to give you a few things that I think you should add to this. All right, because you are good at some stuff, and I'm going to talk about it. But let's run through. There's some dialogue, so I'll turn it down a little bit. Let me make sure that the audio is coming through. Here we go.
Are you offering me a job?
Wouldn't be nice to you. Doesn't pay much.
You're offering me a job.
I'm thinking about it.
Seu volante, você consegue!
I'll keep watch on these lions. That's what a bad boy dragonfly does. Would you get this close to a lion? Would he get this close? How about this close? Oh, shit. Oh.
Okay. So what I think that you have demonstrated that you like to do is it's really actually in this shot that I really saw something that I liked, especially where he flies down and the hat stays still. Now this whole thing needs to be retimed a little bit. Okay. Also, probably wouldn't say that you're wouldn't submit a play blast. You can't see it because my camera's in front. Probably wouldn't submit a play blast that says status blocking. Like right here. Okay. If this is not finished animation, it doesn't belong on your reel. But I'm going to react to this as if it's blocking, and there's a little bit of room for work on it. Okay. So when you start this process of getting this character to start to anticipate this drop right here, I would definitely say that you could charge up that anticipation way more, give the audience a little bit more notice that something big is about to happen so that they can watch an even bigger move happen. Because that's really what anticipation is, isn't it? Anticipation is when we tell the audience, you know, get ready. Get ready because your eye is going to have to track fast. It's going to have to move to keep up with what's about to happen. So a big, long anticipation, you know, the audience really is being pulled back like a rubber band. It's not just because it looks better when something like anticipates and then moves. That's not the reason. The reason is all about giving the audience a chance to, well, anticipate. Right? Sorry, I keep on banging the microphone. There's really not a good place for this to be where I don't feel like I need to move it. Yeah, so you give the audience a chance to anticipate what's about to happen, right? So in this shot, whoops. In this shot, sorry, I was just about to jump back, but I have to reconnect to Frankie. Frankie. Okay. So where are we? Okay. So in this shot, where we have our little guy, what I feel is happening is Frankie has a mind of its own. It's literally playing without me touching anything right now. Hold on a second. There we go. Okay. So what I think is going on is when he anticipates, or sorry, the fact that he is not anticipating this little dive means that the audience doesn't have any chance to get ready for a really awesome action that you're going to show us. He basically just starts diving downwards. Well, I'm sorry, there is a little bit of anticipation, but again, it's right down the barrel. Anticipation, okay? Check this out. So even if you have an action that is happening primarily down the barrel, which means like straight at camera, okay? This is not a big anticipation. I'm gonna do the same distance, okay? So watch this. So see how much my hand changed? It didn't really change actually in screen space, did it? It just scaled like 10%. But this is the same distance that I'm covering. Look how much bigger that action looks when I move it like lateral to camera than when I move it directly at camera. In fact, it barely could be considered a pose change. In fact, it shouldn't be. In the context of what we're looking at right now, it should not even be considered a pose change. Okay, so when you anticipate this bird basically backwards, you know, you're basically moving them backwards in camera. Okay, what's ending up happening is that the audience misses any opportunity that they had to really feel that they should prepare to watch a fast action. Big anticipation, fast movement, okay? Just like pulling that slingshot back. You know that with that big anticipation, there's going to be something that really quick that you need to track fast, okay? So give us some time. Give us a good 3-4 frames and actually build a pose and give us a movement where if you want to use the feet as sort of like the focal point, that's fine. Swing the feet back and give us, you know, a good 3-4 frames actually where the feet drag the body up and we get the feet really swinging upward like that. And then, okay, the feet, if you want them to be the thing that is essentially dragging that character skyward, those feet would have to come through as well. Okay, now the whole gag, this is a well-known cartoon trope here, the old, you know, character disappears so fast and leaves their clothing behind. That's a very well tread path that you're following here. That has some rules. The first is that if you have a big character action, then primarily the object that is going to stand still has to stay very still. So you have a big leap between these two frames. And then it stays still. It actually pops back up. So that's not really going to work. That's not really playing along with the way that your audience is going to be best equipped to follow along what's going on. So I think this could be really, really, really strong. And I feel like this is the kind of stuff that you enjoy doing. There feels like a lot of joy in this shot. It feels like you took some time to do it. You included it even though it was in the blocking phase. Maybe you're still working on this. I don't know. But there's got to be a reason that you kept this in here. And I'm willing to bet that you like this for a very special reason as well. Okay, so I would recommend, this reel is not quite long enough for me, but I would recommend do some more stuff like this. I think that there's work out there for animators who can do really nice, well-timed, beautifully animated, silly cartoon stuff. Okay, because this is just goofiness. And we need more animators, I feel, that can do this stuff like really quick and well, and can and sort of hit beats that are easy to follow by your audience. Okay, this is a little choppy. It's missing that, but I think with a little work you could get there. Okay, the movement that you've done on this film, I haven't seen this film, but Antonio Banderas has never looked better. If you ask me, look at this guy. Antonio Banderas. Oh, it keeps on reconnecting. I'll take this moment to make another note. We're going to talk in a second about the shot that you chose to do with the seated character. 9 times out of 10, when I see a seated character, I feel like it would almost always be a better shot if it was just composed with a standing character and another standing character and just framed as a close-up, mid-stomach or chest and up. This is why I say that. And I'm not going to say anything more about that. I'm not going to break down that shot. But this is why I say that, okay? So when I am sitting, you know that my body, my root basically is planted, and it's planted in such a way that there is only my torso's length leeway for posing. In other words, you know that pivot point basically is just down here. And so I'm only playing this much. But it's not much more effort, and I know why you do this. And I'm a culprit of this too. I do this as well, where it's like you want to do like a close-up dialogue shot, and so the first thing you do is you sit them down and you put them behind a table, right? Just cover the legs because I want to focus on this. Okay, well, honestly, it's not that much more work, but it gives you 1,000 more points if you can demonstrate body mechanics that are actually being activated in a shot that is close up, but it still feels like they're standing. All right? So it's not like you have to animate those footfalls and those toe splays and those heel rolls and all that stuff, but if you can telegraph through some of that real, like, loose, light movement and that free, naturalistic body mechanics that comes from, like, shifting your weight and explaining and doing all the, like, the gestural work that you're doing. If you can still do that, again, you don't have to animate the legs, but do it just with the root as if they're standing, man, you doubled the mileage that you get out of that shot. So for that shot that I'm talking about, Frankie is, oh my God, Frankie's having a major fit. I gotta refresh. But anyway, if you can just take the time and the effort and the energy, it's this piece right here. But Frankie is losing its mind. It's totally being controlled on its own right now. Uh-oh. Anyway, if you can do the exact same shot, but just listen, stand them up, grab that root controller, grab all of the Y curves, drag them up, okay? Delete the seat, delete the table, okay? Just have it be two people, and he doesn't have to slide the gun, okay? You explain that sound some other way. You can just take it out and hold it out, okay? But the whole diner scene, we've seen 1,000 times, and by now, what it kind of betrays is a lack of confidence in your off-screen body mechanics, essentially. Okay, that's just my challenge to you. The very last thing I would say. Now Frankie is completely losing its mind. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get there. Stand by. Let me just refresh. The last thing that I did want to say is that the run cycle of the lion, it has a little bit of, here, how am I going to do this? Let me just do it this way. Frankie doesn't want to pay it. Frankie doesn't want to play along right now. The run cycle of the lion. I like this stuff, but I think that you should probably say, you should just have like just a 1 second card on all of the NPC stuff where you are responsible for the lion animation, and then just say responsible for between these shots, responsible for lion animation, just a 2 second title card, and then remove everything, so that this whole section, when it says responsible for lion, you don't have to explain this whole thing down here, not the dragonfly. Don't do that. That's if you just say responsible for lion animation and then just show this entire sequence, all your shots in the sequence, you're fine. Okay. But I would feel a little bit like, this is just too much explanation down here. Okay. In this run cycle, you might have, this might be an entirely perfectly researched run cycle, but what I think is happening is you're hitting some poses that you know about that are a little cheeky. Those are the fact that a lion, and they run with their paw. They sort of like roll on the outside of their paw. It's a little bit more pronounced in a lion walk. Actually, when they are pushing off that foot, I tend to see that roll a little bit more off the push off of a feline walk. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. You might be pushing it too far. For someone, to the untrained eye, this almost looks like you're over rotating it. In fact, a little bit, maybe even to the trained eye, this looks like you're a little bit over rotating it. I would tone this down just a little bit, but again, like the Dr. Manhattan, pure white eyes, and the just the play less render. I think that we're kind of past the point where you can just have just a play blast. I don't want to be harsh, and it feels bad to say anything critical about a reel when there's decent animation, but it's just like poorly rendered. But I just think it's the times we live in, and it wouldn't be honestly, it wouldn't be too much more effort for you to investigate at least how to get a shader on the eyes, have either like a nice gradient background and like an ambient render, and render this out. Okay, so that's basically all I have to say about that. Again, decent work. I want to see you pump this reel up with a lot more of that fun cartoony stuff. I think the world needs more cartoony animators. I think there's a lot more work in the cartoony than there is the realistic creature VFX, and you seem to like it. I feel a lot of joy in that shot that you started. So I want to encourage you to keep on going in that direction. that is all I'm going to say. This went a little bit longer than I planned on doing, but there was a few different topics to hit, so I'm glad we did. If you'd like to see a shot critiqued, I'll break down a shot. If you send in a shot, I will do a shot with a lot more like breakdowns and talk about animation and mechanic issues. If you do a demo reel, it'll be a little bit more like this. But if you want to find me on any of my socials, probably the quickest is to @ me on Twitter, tag me in a post, and give me a link to your demo reel, and I'll hit you up. Okay? It's been a lot of fun. I'll see you guys next time. Rock on.